Good morning, everyone. Jesse Webb, TradersPro. Markets are closed today, but we'll still do a quick update here. Looking at current market conditions, had a pretty nice bullish day on Friday, and really seeing some development here in some trend shifting, and we'll talk a little bit about that. Long-term trend still mildly bullish in a bear market, so the next phase on this is going to go back up to bullish in a bear market. This bear market is really potentially bottoming out right here. This will be interesting to see if we continue this momentum. On this smaller chart, it's a little bit harder to see. We'll look at this other chart down here in just a minute, but we're seeing that bottoming process. It's been kind of a long one here now, 6 months or so, as things have been just kind of chugging along here along this bottom pattern right here, really since June. Working on working on this potential inverted head and shoulders pattern. In technical analysis, there's what's called a head and shoulders pattern where the price looks like this, and typically you get more downside off of this move. Well, the opposite of that is also true, and that is when they have this upside down or inverted head and shoulders. If we get support right here, and if we break through this trend line, this is really the trend line that we're watching, at least on S&P 500, which this tracks. Nasdaq's not even close. Dow's already passed it. Dow's up here looking pretty strong right now, and we're definitely seeing the two things of interest off this chart today to really look at, or that we're seeing. We have had this rally, and we're approaching, we're not quite there yet, but some of the extremes on a couple levels. So we have real strong breadth, which is the green. We've got momentum moving, which is also strong. Sentiment, this one's been hovering, really up here for a while. Back in the bull market, this actually stayed pretty high for years. It stayed above 100 for a long time. So once that trend shifts, this can stay high. In a downtrend, though, that typically is not the case. This is one of the things that, kind of that flush out bottom. Bottoms typically happen when sentiment is bad. So now that sentiment, and so this could have been the bottom down in these locations here, since we haven't been seeing that. Now we're seeing that starting to move higher. We just may get confirmation of that as these trends start to shift back up. Well, obviously we're still kind of stuck right in this breakout point. Could go higher or lower from this point. Momentum, though, is about to shift back up into this buy zone, and not extreme one way or the other, but trending to the upside. Breadth is looking very strong, very good right here, and has some upside to it as well. These are the upper ranges, and we're just sitting right here. So we could see breadth really pop if we continue this overall market rally, and sentiment has been strong here. Buy-sell ratio is really looking strong. It's almost 9-to-1 now in the database, where you've got 3,000, 4,000 buys and sells. This doesn't display the holds, the ones that are stuck in the middle, not trending, but you're seeing some strength here in the buys. If you look back over the last couple of years, we really haven't seen this strong of a buy-sell ratio for a couple of years now. Let's go back 3 years, see if we can pull COVID in. So this was the COVID move right here. Both the bottom where it hit these real low levels, and then the bullish spike out of the COVID lows. You had really high buy-sell ratios just because you had so much participation starting, because everything had been sold. Everything had been sold off here, and then you have that move back in. So we're seeing some pretty nice levels. Not to that range yet. We're at ranges that we've been at before pretty consistently in this. In the last couple of years. So it definitely could be an indication that we're seeing some rotation here back into risk on, which is back into equities. Obviously, we know that there have been plenty of equities moving well in the last few years anyway, and let's take a look at some of those. Some of the ones that, these are the current trends. I'll pull up this sectors tab and show you these. The basic materials has been climbing. You'll notice a pretty large number in there. This is the hot spot right here, and we've talked about steel. The top three in that list of basic materials are steel. ATI with the breakout moved up to that extreme. A lot of these now need a little consolidation to allow, once you get to this level, these typically are not real sustainable without some kind of a sideways move or even just a little pullback, something like that, to get that off of that extreme level. And most of these are looking like that right here. Zeus, nice pop here in steel, same thing, it's this upper range. And so hopefully you were able to find some of these as we talked about some of these breakouts over this past week. Here's another steel stock. And then gold. You've got steel and you've got gold. Umana Gold, which is also trending nicely. And we'll see if we see any rotation out of these, because this is still kind of the trade. This is the trending move. This is the direction of the river, so to speak. You know, the whatever that overall pattern and that overall trend is doing, those are the trades that we want to focus on, and that overall direction. We don't want to try and swim against the current, so to speak. We want to be trading in the direction of things that are working. Gold and steel, those are some of the ones that are working. If we look at the new buy list, there are a couple of nice looking picks in here. This is kind of a speculative high flyer, but it is moving, GOTU, and it's right here at this buy location, and it has the potential to really be volatile, both to the upside and the downside. Be cautious of that, but there could be some opportunity there. And some of these others, if we scan through them, let's go to our new buy list here and see to my save scans. Muscle stocks, and then my new buy list here. There it is, GOTU, NUVL. These are some biotech, so that's also a hot sector that's happening. You're seeing some real big pops in biotech. Some of those are fairly early in the trends, and that's what the new buy list is it's providing early trend with some confirmation. There's a good example of it. We're not looking to try and get in here. We actually want to wait and get in here with this confirmation to allow our stop loss at these lows. So this is our risk. We're willing to allow this much risk on the trade. If it drops below that, obviously, then it's reversed and we need to be stopped out of that trade. So it allows for a little bit easier money management approach there as well. So some good looking stocks to go through on this day off and build up your watch list and prepare for the week ahead. If you don't have full access to the site, you can sign up with the link below, and we look forward to having you. Have a great day today.